Okay, so a very warm welcome to those who are watching this video. So the topic which we are going to discuss today is very important from your exam point of view, especially when you go for your theory exams as well as your Viva. They'll repeatedly ask you some of the other question from this topic. Even in your multiple choice questions, you'll get few questions which are from this topic. So as you can see, the topic for today's class is road traffic accidents. So before we go into the topic, I just want you to think for a second, like why this topic is so important. Like very frequently, you must have heard in your own family or from your relatives or friends, somebody dying in road traffic accidents. That is why, and they are losing their precious life, and even the family has to go through so much of pain and agony. So, and what can be, and what was the reason behind that, and what could have been done to prevent this road traffic accident from occurring, as well as what are the preventive steps that can be taken. So, we'll see all this in today's this class. Okay, so coming to the definition, so as you can see, accident is defined as it is nothing but an unexpected and unplanned occurrence which may involve injury, and also it can be mostly it is an unpremeditated event resulting in recognizable damage, and also it is the occurrence in a sequence of events which usually produces unintended injury, death, or property damage. Okay, so these are all the three important aspects in the definition of accident. Accidents. That's first. It is an unexpected and it is unplanned occurrence. So it happens all of a sudden, and it is unpremeditated event resulting in recognizable damage. Okay, so this is the definition. In case they ask you an essay question in road traffic accidents, you should write the definition of accident. Then only you should go to the next part. Okay. Okay. So coming to the types of accidents. So accidents can be of different types. So we'll see all the accidents, all the different types, sorts of accidents. We can see one by one. So the first one here is road traffic accident. So which you see on the roads. It can involve a two-wheeler, it can involve a bicycle, it can be involving a truck, it can be involving anything on the road. Okay. It can be involving a pedestrian also. A pedestrian who is trying to cross the road can also get hit by any vehicle. Then the next one is domestic accidents, which happen in our home. That sort of accidents. Okay. And the next one is industrial accidents, that is happening in big industries. Okay. Any fire, any burns, anything in industrial accident. Then we have railway accidents. Railways, every now and then you can hear every year some or the other railway accident taking place, leading to the loss of so much of life as well as financial difficulty. Okay, and the last one is violence, human violence. Okay, violence is also included in types of accidents. So next is road traffic accidents. So how do we define road traffic accidents? So road traffic accident is defined as an accident which takes place on the road between two or more than two objects, one of which must be any kind of a moving vehicle. So this is a simple definition here. So as they said, they are telling, so the accident, it involves two objects. It can be two objects or more than two also. Like one car dashing another car in a highway, one after another. That will be a big collision of cars. That can be multiple vehicles involved in accident. And they say at least one of these vehicles should be in motion. It should be moving. It should not be stationary. If the vehicles are in stationary, it if the vehicles are stationary, it is highly unlikely for a major accident to take place. Okay, so any major accident, at least one of the vehicle should be one of the vehicle should be moving. It should be mobile. Okay, so this is how you can see here. So next, coming to the burden. Burden means the uh, the the percentage of accidents or mortality that is taking place in our population. So they say that injuries roughly they represent how much? They represent 12% of global burden of disease. That means all these accidents they comprise roughly 12% of the global burden of disease worldwide. So when you take age and sex criteria, 50 to 60% of the injuries or the accidents are in the age group of, that is the most productive age group, that is 15 to 44 years. And it is involving males more than females. Okay. As you can see, most of the vehicles, if you take most of the vehicles on the road, you can imagine for yourself. If you see most of the vehicles on the road, mostly they are driven by males. Very few, but nowadays things are changing, but still majority of the vehicles are being driven by males more than the females. And the mortality rate when it comes to accidents, it is 19 per 1 lakh population. Okay, it is quite a big lot of, it is a quite big number. It's 19 per 1 lakh population. And distribution wise, the majority of the accidents, they are distributed in the, you can see they are distributed in the low and middle income countries. That is 93% distribution. Okay, so the distribution is 93% in the low and middle income countries. And also you can see approximately how many, it is 1.3 million people are killed every year due to road traffic accident. That is a quite big number. That is 1.3 million people are getting killed every year due to RTA on the road, and more than 50 million are getting injured every year. So you can see here 1.3 million are getting killed and 50 million are getting injured every year. And nearly half, that is 48% of those who are dying on the roads are vulnerable road users, like the pedestrians who are trying to cross the road, then the cyclist and the motorcyclist. So these people are the vulnerable road users who are at higher who are at a higher uh, risk of getting involved in a road accident. That is the pedestrians who are trying to cross the road or walking on the road, then the cyclist and the motorcyclist. You yourself may be knowing that majority of the accidents involve motorcyclist, or it can be pedestrian or cyclist. Okay, and this is costing roughly 65 billion US dollars each year. All these accidents, that is the financial burden of road traffic accidents. And the cost on the country's economy is often as high as 2 to 3% of gross national product. So that is how much the economies of big countries are affected. That is 2 to 3% of the gross national product. And it is the fifth leading cause of death by 2030. That is, this is being said by the World Health Organization. They are saying that by 2030, accidents will be the fifth leading cause of death. Okay, by 2030. Okay, so these are some of the countries with most of the road traffic deaths. So you can see that this data is little bit old. That is taken from 2015, but the source again is World Health Organization. So you can see leading this chart is Libya. Libya, that is an African nation, is leading the chart at 73 deaths per 1 lakh population. And following Libya, you have Thailand, that is at 36 deaths per 1 lakh population, followed by Malawi at 35 deaths per 1 lakh population, and so on. Okay. Okay, going to the next slide. Okay, next one is the number of, you can see here, this is a pie chart kind of, and you can see the number of deaths by road user category. Okay, how many deaths each category of road user we are attributing to. So this is again from WHO 2015, and you can see that here that 34% of the deaths are attributed to two-wheelers or three-wheelers, and 13% of the death is attributed to drivers and passengers in heavy trucks. Also, you can see that pedestrians are involved in 9% of the accidents. That's a big number. And also we have cyclists who are involved in 4% of the accident here. Okay, so this is the pie chart which kind of gives you an idea about the percentage of deaths involving three-wheelers as well as two-wheelers and trucks. Okay, also the pedestrian and cyclist. Okay, so this is again a newspaper article which says that they have analyzed the accidents that are taking place in the capital, okay, capital city of India, that is New Delhi. And they are saying that 72% of the accidents, 72% of the accidents, they occur between, what is the timing? It is 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. That is at the night time. So majority of the accidents they are taking place in the night. That is 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, night time. That is a very high risk timing, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. most of the accidents. And then 42% of the victims are two-wheeler riders. Okay, they can be cycle, or they can be motorcycle, or they can be any scooter. Okay, 42% of the victims are from two-wheeler riders, and 38% are pedestrians who are trying to cross the road, or who are walking on the road. That is 38%. And 90% of the victims are mostly they are hit while they are trying to change the lane, when they are trying to cross the lane, when they are trying to cross from left to right or right to left. That is when they are getting hit. That is 90%. That is a big number here. And two of the three killer vehicles are private cars. So they are telling more than the, most of the time it is the private vehicles that are involved in accidents. Okay, and one of the major reasons for increased number of accidents are, you can see, it is drunk driving and increased speed. That is, speeding during early hours are the biggest killers. So high speed driving as well as drunk driving, these are the major causes of road traffic accidents. Okay. Okay, this is again some of the figures, like the number of deaths based on each state of India, that is in 2018, and you can see that it is on a rising trend. It is going on rising from year after year, from 2016 to 17 to 18. It is going on increasing every year to year, day by day. Okay, you can see in UP, Uttar Pradesh, in 2016 it was around 19,000, but in 2018, how much it is? It is 22,000. Okay, so again it is increased by, I think it's increased by 3,000. That's a big number. Then again in Maharashtra, in 2016 it was 12,000, and in 2018 it became 13,000. That is increase of again 1,000. And Tamil Nadu is a little bit surprising here. That is in 2016 it was 17,000, but maybe they must have taken some drastic measures So it has come down to 12,000. While Karnataka also, it has come down by another 1,000. From 11,000, it has come down to 10,000. And Madhya Pradesh also, it has come down from 9,000 to Madhya Pradesh, sorry, it has increased from 9,000 to 10,000. Okay. So if you say, if you see the age-wise people getting killed, so majority of the people who are getting killed, they are in which age group? They are in 18 to 35 age group. That is the youngsters, the middle-aged people. They are getting involved in majority of the accidents. That is 18 to 35 years, which is 72,000 deaths roughly in that age group. That is the maximum, followed by 35 to 45 years. That is again, it is 32,000 deaths. Then we have major users getting killed. When you compare the vehicles being used, you can see that between two-wheelers, car, taxi, pedestrian, and truck and lorries, majority of the persons who are getting killed, they are driving two-wheelers. Two-wheelers, that is 55,000 people who were driving two-wheelers got killed, followed by car or taxi. After that, we have pedestrians at 22,000. Then in the end, we have truck or lorries at 15,000. Okay, so next is persons killed in type of pollution. So what is the type of pollution which is resulting in maximum number of deaths? You can see majority it is in head-on pollution. When it's a direct pollution, head-on pollution has resulted in 29,000 deaths, followed by 28,000 that is hit and run. Sometimes you get hit by someone and they don't even try to help you out. They just run away. That is hit and run. 28,000, followed by getting hit from the back. That is 25,800. Okay. And last is with vehicle, parked vehicle. That is 4,700. Okay. So next is you can see proportion of road traffic deaths by age range and country income status. So you can see that majority of the road traffic deaths, they are occurring in the age group of 15 to 29 and 30 to 34. And in the 30 to 34 also, you can see the bar chart here. So the black bar here shows you the low income people, and the yellow denotes the middle income category, while green represents the high income. So majority here is in the low income category, followed by middle income, followed by high income category. And within 15 to 29 years of age, you can see that majority are in the low and middle income category, followed by the high income. So majority of them who are getting affected are in the age group of 15 to 44 years, and majority are from low income, that is the poor people. Okay, so when it comes to road traffic accidents, we can divide the components which are involved in road traffic accidents into three components. That is, one is the human component, next is the vehicle component, and the last one is environment. Environment is the third component. So next slide, we'll see what is the role of each component. What is the role of humans, then the vehicle, then the environment in causing road traffic accident. Okay, so when it comes to human factors, we have so first is when you say human factors, the first thing which comes to your mind is the age group. So age group, if you see the age group that is involved in road traffic accidents, as we have seen in the previous slide, the most of the road traffic accidents, they're happening in the age group of 15 to 44 years. That is the most productive age group. So it leads to lot of financial difficulty for the family. When somebody who is in that age group, that is 15 to 44 years, working member, maybe the only working member of the family, only breadwinner of the family, getting killed in an RTA, it just causes devastation in the family. Then we have the next factor, that is the gender. So gender wise, who is involved in road traffic accident on a higher scale. So again, no surprises that in road traffic accident, mostly it is more in males. As you can see on the road, majority of the people driving are males only compared to females. Okay, and it is 3 times more likely than females. Okay, you can see it is more than males driving is 3 times more than females. And then some of the medical conditions, which are involved in road traffic accident, you can see one is epilepsy. Like a person who is having epilepsy or who has no prior condition of epilepsy, suddenly he may develop epilepsy on the road and it may lead to road traffic accident. Same thing with vertigo. Someone who has no history or who is taking treatment for vertigo, suddenly while he is driving a two-wheeler or a motorbike, suddenly he develops vertigo and suddenly he falls and some other vehicle runs over him. So that can also happen. Or he may go and dash another vehicle or a pedestrian, leading to another death. So next one is refractive error. If refractive error is not sorted out, then again it can lead to vision issues and you may not be able to see properly, leading to again RTA. And sometimes people while driving a car or driving a bike, they suddenly develop heart attack. Okay, and the vehicle goes uh, and he loses the control of the vehicle and it goes and dashes some other vehicle. Or sometimes person driving may develop some sudden illness. Some illness suddenly may occur, leading him to cause some accident or get involved in an accident. Then the next one is psychiatric illness. Sometimes psychiatric illness, if the person is having a history of any psychiatric illness or not sudden, mostly it is, he may be having a history of psychiatric illness and maybe under treatment and maybe he would have discontinued his medication or irregular medication and suddenly while he is driving the vehicle, he will develop psychiatric illness, some type of epilepsy, and he may cause some accident or he may be involved in accident. And next is fatigue. So fatigue also while driving, if you are not careful, we may be leading to accident. It may lead to fatigue. So next is psychosocial factors. So this is very important. So some of the very important psychosocial factors which leads to and majority of the road traffic accidents are the psychosocial factors which I have listed out here. So one is lack of experience. So lack of experience while doing driving. So if you're not experienced enough to drive a bus, drive a car, you should not drive it. You should drive it with the driver or with someone who is more experienced sitting next to you. You should not drive on your own. Okay, unless you are very experienced. So lack of experience is one of the major factors which leads to RTA. Then impulsiveness, impulsive driving because of friends, because of peer pressure can lead to RTA. Then defective judgment. Defective judgment while driving of the roads, of the turns, and delay in decision making, like when to slow down the vehicle, and aggressive driving, aggressiveness, especially the youngsters trying to show off, and aggressiveness, overspeeding, again is a very important factor, can lead to RTA. And then we have poor perception. Poor perception is also an important factor. Then we have lack of body protection. So lack of body protection, that means not wearing helmets and seat belts. So if you don't wear helmets, it may lead to, if you are in an accident, it will lead to head injury and ultimately life will be lost. So majority of the road traffic accidents, the death is mostly because the person was not wearing a helmet and it lead to and it led to a head injury. And also, seat belts are very important when driving a car. It can be a lifesaver wearing a seat belt. And also, not the last thing is not using a phone while driving is very important. If you're using a phone while driving, then again it can lead to accidents. Okay, and you or somebody may get killed. So don't use mobile phones, wear seat belts, and wear your helmets. So next, coming to the environmental factors. So environmental factors, per se, these environmental factors, some of them are in our control, some of them are not in our control. Sorry. So when you see that environmental factors, what are the points which are relating to the roads are, from the major points relating to the roads are the bad roads you see in our country. The bad roads, the potholes, they can always lead to some of the other road traffic accidents. And also, when there is no speed breakers, when there are no indicators, when there is no directions, especially when there are very sharp turns and all, when there is no signage, etc. So it can lead to accident. And relating to the vehicles, when the vehicle is very old enough, it doesn't have any seat belts, when the headlights of the headlights are not working, when the horn is not working. So these are some of the vehicles related to the some of the factors which are related to the vehicle. Okay. So per se, if the vehicle is having any default, any dysfunction, then it can lead to road traffic accident. And the last one is if you have bad weather. That is, if you are going to drive in very bad weather, very bad weather conditions, something like a flood. When there's a heavy flood, if you're driving in a flood, or when there is some kind of what to say, like when there's an earthquake or heavy flood or some kind of heavy snowfall, in these conditions, you should avoid driving. It can lead to road traffic accident. So okay. So what I was talking about is the conditions which are relating to the roads are, one is defective narrow roads, and the roads are very defective, very narrow roads, and you're trying to drive through narrow roads, it can lead to road traffic accident. And next is defective layout of crossroads and speed breakers. When the speed breakers are not properly laid and they are not rightly marked out, then there is no highlighter, no marking of the speed breakers, no crossroads, then again it can lead to road traffic accidents. Then poor lighting. When there is not adequate lighting on the roads, it can lead to very dangerous accidents. And when there is mixed traffic means when there is on the road, everybody, like there are cars which are moving very fast, there are cycles which is moving very slow, then there are pedestrians who are walking very slow, then there are animals in between. So this is a mixed traffic condition. So mixed traffic condition is again it's a very dangerous scenario. And last one is lack of familiarity. So if you're not familiar with the surroundings, that's the road, the routes, the directions, then again it can lead to road traffic accidents. Okay, so next is relating to the vehicles. So what are the factors relating to the vehicles? So you can see here, so the factors relating to the vehicles are, one is excessive speed. When we are driving at high speed. So when we are driving at high speed, our reaction time, what happens to our reaction time? When we are driving at high speed, our reaction time, it decreases. Sorry, it increases. Increases in the sense you take more time to react. You don't have time to react. You uh, because because of the excessive speed, things are coming at you very fast. So your reaction time decreases. Sorry, your reaction time decreases. Okay, you are not able to you're not able to, there is no time for you to react properly, so your reaction time decreases, so you react very faster when it is excessive speed and it can lead to accident. Then another is, as I told, When the vehicles are, when the car, bus, trucks, they are old and they are poorly maintained. Okay, these vehicles. Then we have, next is when there are large number of two and three wheelers. When the road is full of two wheelers, that is scooter, bikes, etc. Then three wheelers like auto, all these things, they are three wheelers, they are crowding the road, and again it can lead to road traffic accident. Then you can see in the picture here, overloaded vehicles or overloaded bus. So again, this overloaded bus or the trucks, they can lead to road traffic accident. Then what is the next one? That is low driving standards. So when the driving standards are very low, that is again a very, that is the driver is not experienced enough to drive. That can be, that can lead to road traffic accident. And the last one is inadequate public transport system. When uh, there is not when there is non-availability of government buses or trains, and that can again lead to more people walking on the roads or driving two wheelers, and it can again lead to road traffic accident. Also, we can see that an increase in average speed is directly related both to the likelihood of a crash occurring and to the severity of the consequences of the crash. Okay, so whenever there is an increase in speed, average speed, there is a high chance that it may lead to a crash, and it can lead to the consequences of the crash. So increased speed is listed as the leading cause of road traffic accident. So every now and then, when we hear about accidents in our family or our friends or relatives or in the newspaper or e-newspaper, it is always 99 percentage the factor which is common will be increased speed. So increased speed is one of the major factors in road traffic accidents. So majority of the road traffic accidents can be avoided if we reduce the speed. Okay. So also you can also we can see that pedestrians have a 90% chance of surviving a vehicle crash at 30 km per hour and less than 50% at vehicle speed of more than 45 km per hour. So this is the best way to put this thing. So if one vehicle is coming at 30 km per hour and another vehicle is coming at 45 km per hour, and both of them are dashing pedestrians, the pedestrian will have a 90% chance of surviving a crash for the vehicle which is coming at 30 kilometers per hour, and it will be less than 50% survival chance for vehicle which is coming at a speed of more than 45 kilometers per hour. So as the speed increases, the chances of your survival, it goes down. Okay. Okay, so some of the precipitating factors, some of the very important precipitating factors which lead to road traffic accidents. So majority of them you will be knowing. So some of them are the most common one which we hear every now and then is alcohol consumption. So increased alcohol consumption while driving is prohibited first of all. So when you drive, when you drink and drive, you are at a high probability of meeting an accident. Okay, high probability of getting involved in an accident. Okay, and next is distracted driving. Distracted driving, you can see the picture here that when you are talking on your mobile while driving, that is distracted driving. So you're distracted on your mobile and you don't know what is happening on the road. So, and your vehicle goes and dashes some other vehicle. So again, it leads to road traffic accident. Next is social pressure. That is social pressure from your friends or other circles to show your driving skills. Sometimes young people to prove themselves, to impress the opposite sex, they drive at a high speed. That is social pressure. Okay. And last one is demographic factors. Okay. So we can see alcohol consumption. So again, as I told, the risk of being involved in crash increases significantly above a blood alcohol concentration of 0.04 nanogram per deciliter. So they are telling that once the alcohol concentration goes above 0.04 nanogram, 0.04 gram per deciliter, there is a high chance of getting involved in a crash. And how does alcohol affect alcohol? It leads to poor judgment while driving, and it slows the reaction time. You don't have enough time to react, and it leads to loss of concentration, and your vision is impaired. And blood alcohol concentration of 80 milligram per deciliter doubles the risk of crash, while blood alcohol concentration of 100 milligram per liter per deciliter triples the risk. So you can see here, if the blood alcohol concentration is 80 milligram, it will double the risk of a crash. While if it is 100 milligram per deciliter, it will triple the risk. Okay. Next one is distracted driving. So as I told you, what happens in distraction? So majority of times we can see we ourselves or our friends or relatives or family members, they can be seen talking on the phone while driving. Okay, while driving, they are talking on the phone, and it can lead to accident. So what happens when you are using a mobile phone? Distraction. It leads to longer reaction time. Longer reaction time. Okay. And there is impaired ability to keep in the correct lane. So sometimes while talking on the phone, your car may move from one lane to another lane because you are distracted while using your phone. So car may go from one lane to another lane and may get dashed by another car. And sometimes it can lead to shorter following distances. The distances between two cars may get decreased, may lead to shorter distances. It may lead to shorter distances between two cars. Then we have drivers who are using mobile phones are approximately 4 times more likely to be involved in a crash. Okay, so those drivers who use mobile phones, there is a chance that they are 4 times more at risk of getting involved in a crash. And hand-free phones are not much safer than handheld phones. So some people, they will be having this Bluetooth headset and all. So it is not at all advisable to wear Bluetooth headsets. Okay, okay. Even Bluetooth headsets can lead you to accidents. Okay, you may get distracted by talking via Bluetooth headsets, and it may lead to accident. Some of the other distractions are advertisement boards. If you while driving, if you see some big nice looking advertisements, then you may take a look and your car may go some other way. And then passengers, your co-passengers who is sitting next to you or sitting behind may be talking to you, and it may lead to distraction. Okay, so that is a high risk. Then we have music. Music is also a high distraction. When you are playing music inside your car, it can lead to distracted driving. So next, coming to the demographic factors. So the demographic factors that are involved in road traffic accidents are one is the increased need for travel. So when you feel the increased need for traveling, that is one demographic factor. Then choice of less safe forms of travel. So when you're trying to travel somewhere, there will be multiple options of travel. So one can be some youngsters, they take bike, two-wheeler to travel, which is highly unsafe. Some they take car, which can be again it is an unsafe way of traveling, especially in the night time. So you can take a better choice would be to take a bus. To take a bus or a train would be a better option than using a bike or a car. Then demographic factors includes young drivers and riders. So young drivers and riders, as I said, this age group, they are at higher risk of being involved in accidents. Then driver fatigue. So driver also may get tired. If you see drivers who are driving the bus overnight or who are continuously driving their cars overnight, they may get fatigued and they may doze off in between, leading to disastrous consequences, leading to accidents. And next is inadequate visibility. So again, inadequate visibility, especially when there is fog or smog or due to some heavy rains or any snowfall and all, it can again lead to disastrous consequences because of heavy rainfall or snowfall or any fog formation where the visibility is reduced. And if you're driving your car through this, then it can lead to disastrous consequences. You can see the picture in the slide. So, okay, now coming to the very important aspect, that is the prevention and control. So, regarding prevention and control, before we go into that, we have the 4 E's of road safety, which is important for you to know. So, the 4 E's of road safety are: one is education, you educate the public. Then next is enforcement, you enforce the laws through the traffic police. Okay. And the third is engineering, that is engineering of roads as well as the cars. And the fourth is emergency care, providing emergency care at the right time can save millions of deaths in RTA. Okay, so coming to data collection. So under prevention, the first thing will be data collection. So what we mean by data collection is that there should be a basic reporting of all cases of RTAs is to be done. Okay, so all the RTAs that are occurring in every district, every state, or every country should be reported. Okay, should be reported to the government. Okay, to the authorities. And these data collection, they should be supplemented by special surveys. So every now and then there should be some sort of special surveys. Okay, and we should try to, with the help of this reporting, we should try to identify the risk factors, then the circumstances, and the chain of events which led to this road traffic accident. Okay, and then we have environmental data. So environmental data pertaining to the road, then the vehicle, then the weather, etc. should also be collected. Okay, this will help again in formulating the reasons behind the road traffic accident. And last is police investigation of an accident is mandatory, and police records, they act as a starting point. So whenever there is a road traffic accident, we should notify the nearby police station. So what they will do is they'll come over and they will start the investigation. Okay, so this is where the basic reporting and the collection of data happens from police investigation. Okay. So next is, as I told, safety education. So safety education, it begins with school children. So all the schools, the children in the schools, they should be given safety education regarding road traffic rules, what should be followed and what should be not done while driving vehicles, while on the roads. And they should be told to tell the same things at their home also. Okay, health education. So education to the parents, school children. And then the drivers should be also be trained in proper maintenance of the vehicles and safe driving. So the drivers should also be taught how to properly maintain their vehicles and how to follow the traffic rules. Properly maintaining the vehicles is the vehicle should be in a running condition. It should not have any dysfunctional parts, and should the light should be working, the horn should be working, all these things. And then the indicators of the vehicle should also be working. Then we have young people need to be educated regarding risk factors, traffic rules, and safety precautions. So the young people, that is the youth in the colleges, they should also be given safety education about the traffic rules and the risk factors and safety precautions to be taken. They should also be trained in first aid. So all the two-wheeler drivers as well as the passengers should be given training about how to give first aid in case of any road traffic accident, how to manage it. So next comes the promotion of safety measures. So under promotion of safety measures, we have seat belts, which are very important. Seat belts, they reduce the number of fatalities and non-fatal injuries by approximately 50% each, and they should be made compulsory for cars, light trucks, and similar vehicles. And seat belts should be worn by the driver and the co-driver and other passengers. And safety helmets should be worn by the pillion riders, and it should be ISI certified helmets, and it should be well strapped. And regarding children, we should ensure that children remain seated when they are in a vehicle, and they should be prohibited from taking the front seat of cars. This is very important. And the other things are which help in preventing RTA are the door locks should be in working condition in the car, as well as there should be a proper vehicle design, and there should be use of laminated high penetration resistance windscreen glass, etc. Then we have alcohol and other drugs. So this is alcohol and other drugs. They are the direct cause of 30 to 50% of severe road accidents, and they lead to poor judgment, slowed reaction time, loss of concentration, and impaired vision. And the drugs, some of the drugs which are involved in RTA are barbiturates, amphetamines, cannabis. They impair one's ability to drive safely, and they should be avoided totally. So next comes primary care. So primary care is nothing but emergency care that should begin at the accident site and continued during transportation and conclude in the hospital emergency room. An accident services organization and one fully equipped specialized trauma care hospital in all major cities should be established. Then we have elimination of the positive factors. So these are improvement of roads, imposition of speed limits, and marking of danger points. Then we have separation of barriers on freeways and two-way roads, and removing of trees and adding of guardrails to prevent vehicles from falling on the other side. Then we have enforcement of laws. So enforcement of laws, these include driving test, then medical fitness to drive, enforcement of speed limits, compulsory wearing of seat belts and crash helmets, checking of blood alcohol concentration, roadside breath testing for alcohol, then regular inspection of vehicles, and periodic re-examination of drivers over the age of 55. Then we have rehabilitation services. So under rehabilitation, we have medical rehabilitation, then social rehabilitation, then occupational rehabilitation. So accident research is also very important. So when it comes to accident research, it means gathering precise information about the extent, type, and other characteristics of accidents, correlating accident experience with personal attributes and the environments in which accidents occur, investigating new and better methods of altering human behavior and seeking ways to make environments safer, evaluating more precisely the efficiency of control measures. So these are all coming under accident research. Now we have something called as Haddon's matrix. So this is nothing, but it was developed by William Haddon in 1970, and he developed a matrix that identifies risk factors before the crash, during the crash, and after the crash in relation to the person, vehicle, and environment. So in pre-crash phase, we have our primary prevention. Then crash phase, we have secondary prevention. Then post-crash phase, we have tertiary prevention. So this is the how the Haddon's matrix looks. You have the three phases, that is pre-injury, injury, and post-injury, and you have the victim, then the vehicle, then the environmental factors. So the principles of injury prevention based on Haddon's matrix are to reduce exposure risk, to prevent RTA from occurring, to reduce the severity of injury in the event of crash, to reduce the consequences of injury through improved post-collision care. Then we have safe road users. So what to be a safe road user? So what all drivers should follow to be a good driver? To be a good driver, what all rules a driver should follow? So drivers should be a cautious, courteous driver, and an inappropriate hand and facial gestures should not be made. He should not be putting his hand out of the window unnecessarily or making unwanted gestures, and should be using the horn sparingly, should not be honking unwantedly, and should use low beams in bad weather. So whenever the weather is bad, they should, whenever there is fog or something or rain and all, they should use low beams in bad weather, and slow the driver should slow down at curves and turns. So whenever there are sharp curves and turns, the driver should slow down. And during night times, be cautious about road signs, animals, and pedestrians. And if someone wants to overtake, let him do so. Don't drive faster than the flow of traffic. Two-wheeler drivers should wear helmets, and four-wheeler drivers should wear seat belts. And drivers should not drink and drive. And they should obey traffic rules, use signals while changing lanes, don't use cell phone while driving, avoid overloading of vehicles, stay alert on the road, and avoid sudden braking and harsh acceleration, and never use clutch as a footrest while driving. And always carry on driving, always carry your driving license, vehicle registration card, insurance, and pollution certificate. And if you are involved in an automobile accident, wait until the police arrives and makes a report. And if a hostile crowd gathers, immediately leave for the nearest police station to file an accident report. So as a cyclist, what are some of the rules to be followed to be a safe cyclist, to be a safe cycle driver? To ride on the left side of the road with other traffic, use the cycle lane wherever provided, keep both feet on pedals, use one hand to signal, never follow any vehicle closely, maintain a safe distance, and avoid very busy roads with heavy traffic. and stop before you enter moving traffic from a minor road. And if you are passing a parked car, be careful, for the door might swing open. And never attempt to overtake a vehicle which is in the process of taking a turn. And last is never stop abruptly without showing a signal. So thank you.